Good evening, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty. Right before you are pictures of black fathers and their sons. These black fathers are very proud to have a progeny in their spirit and their flesh who looks like them. That shows right there that there is a strong connection to who you are as a black man, as a black being, someone who is connected to their blackness, whether they choose to call themselves African American, Negro, or some other name. But they are acutely aware that they are black. And when you have this awareness about you, you will not have a need to want to go out there and disperse this, or to diminish it, or to weaken it. Sometimes there are black men who get lost. And in the spirit of being lost, they will make up all kinds of excuses. Love is love. No greater love that you can have than to want to reproduce and preserve who you are. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to this video very carefully, because I do not want things to get lost in translation. This is not a condemnation upon biracial children or people who choose to get into an interracial union of any sort. This is more of pointing the finger at and bringing attention to people who deliberately is the operative word there, go out there and reproduce something that is not fully who they really are.
Cheers to more light-skinned kids. Cheers to more light-skinned kids. Really, cheers to more light-skinned kids. Really know this. Cheers to more light-skinned kids. Cheers to more light-skinned kids. Really, cheers to more light-skinned kids. Really know this.
Look what I got here. Hey, where are the white women at?
Okay, now that was an acute example of lost black men celebrating of all things the complexion of the baby's skin tone, as opposed to maturely and more spiritually being grateful that you have a healthy baby. This is the reason why I do not celebrate many of these unions, because too many of them is coming from a form of self-hate, lack of self-acceptance, and a lack of self-importance. Many of these white women have no idea that they're actually being chosen as baby-making machines. Baby-making machines for weak, insecure, self-hating black men. When a black man truly loves himself and have a strong identity of who he is and where he comes from and where he is going, he is not going to want to go out and deliberately reproduce with another. He is not going to want to reproduce, dispersing his seed, weakening his genes, and eventually dissipating all that he is. Because most of these biracial children will end up reproducing with someone other than black. And there is absolutely no such thing as a strong-minded black man who loves themselves, who are going to want to go out there and do that. They're not going to want to do that. There will be no need to do that. Now, I do believe that there are black men, and black people, I should say, but we're focusing on black men at the moment, who can meet someone other than black, who they can gel with, connect with. We can communicate very well, laugh together, we're friends. I do believe they can form a union out of that. But see, the union is not formed out of self-hatred. It's not formed because I'm trying to run away from black women or run away from who I am. I'm running towards love. That truly is love is love. Most of this junk out there today is not. Because the vast majority of black men who are with others, if you notice, their attitudes can be very stink. It can be very unfriendly towards other blacks. And I'm sure that those NFL players in that restaurant who are celebrating that, I bet you they are much more kinder, nicer, courteous to people who are non-black. Because they lack something from within. And unfortunately, too many times, people are not installed with a self-love, self-acceptance, strong self-identity, not only of themselves, but of their people. And this creates this need to want to go out there and do that, to want to recreate others that do not look like you, and others who eventually will get rid of any trace of who you once were. So, this is why people need to be very careful about what you're teaching your children and what you have been taught. And a lot of self-analyzation needs to go into effect so you won't be making the wrong decision. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is another edition of Sin Beyond and Through with Monty, and I will see you all beyond and through.